brisk. Alrighty, what's up, y'all? It's gonna be quick because it's it's chilly out here, and my nippies is they're not doing too well. Anyway, so I just had an epiphany. Well, like most of my epiphanies, it's either when I'm talking to my daughter or at the gas station. This time was with my daughter. So I got a question for y'all. It's rhetorical, of course. It's just a way for me to get the topic out. But you know, who you talking to? Who you talking to, son? Like, who are you talking to? Of course, myself. I was just having a discussion with my daughter, asking for some parental feedback. We was going through the list of things. I'm like, hey, daughter, you need stuff from me. You need hugs. You need kisses. You need, you know, are we talking good? Are we exchanging? We're having a good discourse. We're communicating well. Am I meeting your needs as a parent? Because I need to know. I can't guesstimate. I can't figure it out. I can't think I am. I could always speculate, but how about I just do the thing that I know is going to get me the most direct answer, whether it hurt my feelings or not. I will just ask, hey, what do you need from me? And we ended up chit-chatting for a little bit about stuff. She's mostly cool, and then she goes, you know, I just like the way we talk now. I'm like, what does that mean? I'm like a toddler. I'm like, why? You know, I had to get to the root of the cause, or the cause of the root, whatever the fuck. Got to get to it because, one, I would like to know for my own situational awareness, and two, if I'm doing something good, I want to make sure that I'm still continuing down that path. I don't want to falter and go the opposite direction. And the cause is because I talked to her like she's 18, and I'm like, bro, I don't know where you've been, but I've been talking to you like that your whole life. I've always been real with you. I've never really sugarcoated anything, but I've always given you the appropriate speech or the appropriate talks or the appropriate mentorship, guidance, you know, whatever, fatherly love, age appropriate. I wasn't going to talk to you about 18-year-old shit when you was 12, 13, 14. I wasn't going to talk to you about 12, 13, 14-year-old shit when you was 8 and a half, 10. I addressed things in life. And of course, I didn't sugarcoat. I didn't really, you know, I'm not super protective of my daughter. If some things happen in her life, some things happen in her life that were could be possibly traumatic. They were very detrimental to her mental health. Of course, there's things that happen. People have been died, murdered, you know, overdose, drugs, accidents, all kind of stuff that a child should not be privy to. Unfortunately, she was, and I had to address those things age appropriately for her at the time. You know, now that she's older, I talk to her as she's older, and then that got me thinking. She was like, well, you know, I appreciate that. I was like, yeah, because didn't nobody do that for me. And I'm like, I talk to you like I wish people would have talked to me, and that got me thinking. Then that's what got me on the topic of who you talking to. That's what I really mean, right? Am I talking to my daughter? Absolutely. I'm talking to my daughter because I want her to get the lessons without having to live them the hard way, as most parents should and would, right? I want to teach you, which I've talked about before. I want to be my daughter's GPS. I want to make you skip all the potholes and all the roadblocks and all the traffic and all the bullshit. But sometimes they just want to learn on their own. That's the reason I talk to you like this. I talk to you like you're 18 because you're 18. Wait till I get to talk to you about filing taxes, and when you were 16 you got your first job, I talk to you about direct deposit. Like, I talk to you about the stuff that you need to know at the level that you're at. And for whatever reason, which I am glad, she appreciates that, because not everybody talks to her like that. And again, I was one of those kids that I was like always listening and always expected to be smart and always expected to be intelligent and do smart things, but not know what the hell the adults were talking about, and not realize when they were talking down to me like I was stupid. Again, even if it was age appropriate, at the time I understood some shit that I should have been told or explained to better. And of course, take that with a grain of salt, because the brain I have now is not the brain that I had back then. They may have taught me lessons, they may have told me things, but I just didn't get it. You know, parents say, oh, you get it when you get older. Yeah, well, I didn't figure that out until I got older, and I realized some of that shit is true, and some of that shit I probably could not have handled at my age back then. So now I'm doing all of these formulations, and I'm trying to make sure that I'm doing the things that my daughter will understand, and hopefully she'll understand stuff in the future. And I explain it to her that way. Like, you might not get this now, but you're going to get it later. And I do all the things, and I try to get her to feel that way, because I love my daughter, and I want her to grow up not like me. And then I'm thinking like, yo, I'm talking to my daughter, of course. I'm teaching her a lesson. But am I talking to the kid that I wish people would have talked to inside of me, that, you know, when I was younger? Am I talking to the kid that people did talk to? Some of those lessons they did give me, but yet I just didn't comprehend at that age, that skill level, that maturity level? Or am I talking to the fucking adult that somehow still hasn't learned the lessons in life. And that's the one that kind of hit me hard, because I tell my daughter, you know, you got to be careful with your money, you got to be careful with that, you got to be careful around people. Not everybody has your best interest, not everybody's your friend, not everybody loves you. Don't love so openly, don't be so giving with your heart, don't do this, don't do that, because people walk all over you. And my dumb ass is sometimes not listening to my own advice. And I'm like, shit. Not only when I'm talking to my daughter do I hear myself talking to her, but I hear myself talking to me. And it threw me for a loop. That's why I decided to make a mental health motorcycle therapy video, because sometimes I don't just be talking to my kid. I be talking to my me, my inside, my inner child that people like to call it, my inner non-listening child, the second part that maybe got the lessons. And I'm talking to my inner grown-ass dumbass, because sometimes my grown-ass be a dumbass. No matter how hard I try, occasionally I still repeat the lessons that I'm constantly trying to get my daughter to learn, which got me thinking about my parents and all kind of shit. That's another video. But then the last thing about this video is what got me is bringing up my parents. It's not only who you talking to, yeah, who you talking to, but then who's doing the talking. Am I talking to my daughter? Am I talking to my inner child? Am I talking to my child that didn't listen? Am I talking to my inner adult that still has to learn the lesson? Or is it my parents talking? Is it my parents talking through me? Am I repeating some shit or approaching the situations with the same attitude, habits, techniques that my parents did that got me in the place where I am now, where I'm thinking about shit like this and making motorcycle therapy videos? And the answer is no. I am not. But I was. At one point in my life, I realized I was going down the path of becoming my parents. And I'm 50-50, right? My mom and my dad. That's how DNA works. But attitude-wise, I was more my dad, more aggressive, more loud, more boisterous, if you will. And then on my mom's side, I was just so opposed to being like my mom with the lies and random shit. My mom be lying about random shit. Like, it don't even be nothing important. One time, my mom broke her fucking foot and put the boot on the wrong leg and was limping her. I'm like, bitch, that's the wrong foot. You know your ass ain't hurt. Anyway, that's family story stuff. But we crack up about it now, but it's just simple stuff that I didn't want to be a part of my personality. And I fought so much to go the other way that I realized that, yo, I'm talking like my daddy and my stepdad, because, you know, nature versus nurture. I was raised by, I don't want to say two aggressive men, but they was a girl. I ain't never getting my ass like beat, but I done got slapped up a couple times. Honestly, I earned a couple of them slap ups. They ain't no child abuse shit. I ain't traumatized. I don't sneeze or cry and cower when the belt comes out. But sometimes I was like, yo, these motherfuckers are intimidating. And again, in one of my last videos, I was intimidated by my stepdad well into my 30s. And I don't know why, it was just his presence. And I'm like, man, fuck that, I'm grown. But then I had to think, like, am I doing this to my daughter? Am I my parents? Nah. Then I was like, yo, who am I talking to? And to answer that question, everybody. Talking to my daughter, talking to my inner child that didn't get to talking to my inner child that didn't learn a lesson, talking to my grown-ass inner adult, outer adult that's still working on bettering himself and his life shit. So, who you talking to? I'm out.